before I did anything else, I went ahead and applied BB cream, and I've also put a tiny bit of blue eyeshadow at the very arch of my brow so that it ties in with the eye makeup that I'm going to be doing. And then for the eye, I've already done one eye, and I'm going to be using that as a reference to do the same pattern on the other eye, and we're going to be using some white eyeliner just to draw everything out. It makes it a lot easier to do later on, and it means you're less likely to mess up. So I'm going to do a bit of an angled C shape around the eye, and then that same pattern I've done on my left eye, I'm going to do on my right, and I'm going to be using that eye as a reference point, and start drawing out the same patterns. After that, I'm going to be using a black eyeliner and going over everything. We're going to start at the inner corner of the eye, and you're going to do these little swirls which are going to go up into those curls I've drawn, and then you're going to re-outline everything. Once everything's been outlined, you're going to connect that to the corner of your eye, and then also in between those little swirls that we've done, you just want to do a few lines which are going to lead out, and we're going to put a few rhinestones at the end of these. And then at the inner corner of the eye, you're going to do a little point. On the very edge of the eye, what you want to start doing is adding some blue. So I'm just going to be taking a very small art brush, and I'm going to put that in the corner, and then I'm going to start blending that upwards. After I've used a little bit of that blue and I've got a nice gradient, I'm going to add a little bit of a very dark pink to that, and it's going to give it a really nice shade. The pink won't show up too much, but it'll give it more of a fuchsia shade, and it looks so pretty, especially once all the other colours are added in. With that same blue, you're then going to start filling in the little squiggles that we've done over the eye, and we're going to start off by doing the blue at the very bottom, and then afterwards we're going to start adding a teal. But first of all, start adding the blue, and make sure that you really work that colour in so that it's really intense. We don't want any muted colours, these have got to be really bright and vibrant. And then at the very top we're going to put some of that teal. Once I've filled everything in, I'm going to go back over it with a black eyeliner, because sometimes that powder will cover the black eyeliner a little bit and mute it, and I don't really want that. I want these colours to be really intense, so I'm going to re-outline everything. And then with that blue, I'm going to start in the inner corner. I'm going to layer a bit more of that pink closer to the centre of the lower lid, and then the teal is going to be right in the inner corner, so there's going to be a really pretty gradient. Next we're going to move on to some white eyeliner. I'm going to put a little bit of it on the black lines that I've already done, but mostly it's going to accent those little leaf patterns that we've done over the eye, and I'm going to do that along the centre where I've drawn a little stalk, and on the very ends as well. Now take your time with this, it can be very easy to mess up, and you don't really want to mess up at this stage or you'll have to redo everything. Right where that pattern I've drawn around the eye connects to the eyeliner, you're going to do a line that's going to shape upwards, and then underneath on the lower lid we're going to line all the way to the edge of the eye and then down around along the curve, and then on the inner corner of the eye as well. And we're not going to connect this all the way around, it's just going to do the start of the inner corner of the eye, and then we're going to bring a little bit of that colour just underneath the arch of the brow and blend it out. Now if you want to, you can do this before. It would actually be a lot easier if you did that right before, but that's the way I decided to do it. I'm also going to put some rhinestones and then a little bit of that white eyeliner on the very corner of my lashes. Add some false lashes. And then with the black lipstick over that, I'm going to be putting a little bit of Sugarpill's Lumai over the fishnet, so you'll get this really beautiful fishnet pattern. And just to finish everything off, I'm going to put a little bit of teal in the inner corner of the eye. And then that's it. You're done.